As a financial advisor, I have made scores of retirement plans for individuals. All financial advisors know that such long-term financial planning entails a lot of assumptions like that what would be the monthly expenses at the time of retirement, what would be the corpus required to create such income, the rate of return on your investments, inflation rate, etc. But the most important assumption an advisor makes is the lifespan of the individuals and their spouse in retirement. This is like predicting how long both the spouses will live and then make sure that they do not outlive their money. I definitely did not want to run that risk, so I started looking for information on lifespans, and I was surprised to see that lifespans have been dramatically increasing over the last few decades. So much so that living up to 100 was a real possibility. So I'll give you one statistic, one bit of statistic which will emphasize the point. A child born in 1914 had a 1% chance of living up to 100 years of age. A child born in 2014 has 50% chance of living up to 100 years of age. So this is the statistic till date. In the next 20-30 years, this will increase even further. Of course, these are average lifespans, and those of us who live in urban areas can afford to have good medical facilities. And if we do not indulge in excesses, we can reasonably expect to live till 100. The blessing Shatayushi Bhava, which means may you live till 100, given by elders, can now happen for an increasing number of people. In this modern world, however, we have to examine whether living till age 100 is really a blessing, and more importantly, whether we can make it a blessing. In other words, how do we make our 100-year lifespan a joyous and fulfilled one? So, if you have been impressed by the statistics from today, assume that you are not going to die till you are 100. It's so a 30-year-old has to assume that he will live another 70 years. A 40-year-old will say 60 years. Even a 50-year will have another 50 years of life. At this moment, I would ask you to pause the video for a moment and just let that sink in. The moment you make that assumption, your thought process, your mental makeup, your entire perspective on various facets of your life will change. You will realize that your preconceived notions about requirement and extent of savings and investments, time of retirement, your talents and skills which earn you money today, and the possible redundancy of it, the necessity of taking care of your health will all need to have a rethink. There are three broad facets of your life that you need to think deeply about. Don't be under the impression that if you do not have good health, your lifespan may anyway be cut short. Not necessarily. You may still live long thanks to the advances in medical sciences, but that life will be miserable. Haven't you seen people bedridden for years together? They are alive and they need to be taken care of. So, to enjoy a good life, having good health is a must. I'm not going to give you a lot of gyan or here on how to have this good health. You know very well that a healthy diet and regular exercise is required. People who do not do it do not suffer from lack of information, but only suffer from lack of application. Our thoughts about money stem from our concerns about our earning capacity, our spending and saving habits, and how much corpus we can create over a period of time through our investments. Just consider the radical changes that have taken place in the past 30 40 years in your workplace, lifestyle, eating, living, spending habits. People, especially who are in their 40s and 50s, will have a unique perspective as they would have seen this change from the lives of their parents to their own, and now possibly they would be seeing it in their children's lives too. Benchmarks are changing. Retirement, for instance, was at 55 to 58 years of age for the previous generation because most of them were working class. Today's generation, even if they retire from a job, they continue as consultants because their employers value their experience. I expect even these models would become obsolete for the younger generation of today. Because of the tremendous technological advances, they would be constantly required to reinvent themselves or face the risk of redundancy. Partly due to this, and partly due to the increased lifespans, I think the discussion on retirement planning will completely change. People would prefer to taper their work timings rather than retire completely. They would look to develop alternate skills and have maybe 2 3 part time careers. This will enable them to not only work for many more years, but also help prevent the feeling of being redundant or being jaded for doing the same type of work for years together. Raison d'être is a French word which means your reason for existence. A long life will cease to be joyful or even interesting if there is no purpose to it. The Japanese call it your ikigai. It is very important to discover your raison d'être or your ikigai. This discovery can transform your life. It can provide you joy in your work, give you financial success and recognition, but most importantly, every day as long as you live, it will provide you a reason to wake up every morning looking forward to joyfully live it. Let me narrate a story which I found very interesting to emphasize this point. This story was narrated by Pula Deshpande, a Marathi humorist. Actually, he is a multifaceted personality and is very revered by Maharashtrians. Pula Deshpande, in one of his speeches, was telling this story, and the story goes something like this. Pandit Satavlekar was a gentleman who had done a great work of translating Vedas from Sanskrit to Marathi. He was a very old man, he was 99 years of age, and Pula thought that he should meet this great man and have his blessings. So he went to meet the gentleman. Now, while going, he thought that he's an old man, mostly he would be ill, and I will just do a quick visit. I'll take his blessings and inquire about his health, ask him to take care and leave. But when he actually saw the gentleman, he found Pandit Satavlekar in his printing press, and he was checking the proofs of the last few chapters of the translations that he was doing of the Vedas. So once they started talking, and Pandit Satavlekar told him, once I have finished translating these particular tasks, I am going to now go through these documents again and select the most interesting extracts so that the newer generation, the younger generation would at least read this. This, should take me the next 7 8 years. A 99-year-old gentleman talking about his plans for the next 7 8 years is amazing. This is what keeps him alive, young, possibly, and healthy. This possibly is a lesson for us to understand the importance of Ikigai. I congratulate those of you who have their Ikigai and wish the rest of you that you discover it soon. I'm Yogin Sabnis, and you're watching the VSK India YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.